Hey guys, how you doing? Evylyn here. Welcome to another video. So quite a few people have requested an add-ons video, a macros video and a UI video from me. So I'm going to try to give you all three in this one video. Okay, so I'm going to explain my UI first before I go into the add-ons. The UI that I'm using is actually the standard Blizzard one. I actually haven't changed it since the start of the game. And if you look down the bottom right corner, I also have recount there. If you look, it's pretty decent. It shows my DPS. Then on the right hand side, if I open up this add-on here, you will see, where is it? You will see the battleground targets UI. Then if you look down the bottom of my screen, I'm going to show you a picture. You will see 4 lines. The first line is basically my buffs. The second line is my debuffs. The third line is my targets buffs. And the fourth and last line is my target's debuffs. And these are just so I can keep track of all of it quite easily. The next part of my UI, you will notice when I attack something, as you will see here in a second. I'll attack, not him, he's too big. This guy over here. When I attack this guy over here, you will see this little thing come down the side. That's my damage. And then if I also use a move, you will see a timer on it. Over here on the right hand side, see the timers? That's another add-on, which I'll explain in a moment. And as you can see, the damage floating down the side. And that's basically my UI, guys. There's not a lot to it. You've also got the fact that there's a bar above the heads of the mobs. That's another add-on I'll explain. And basically, if you look at the mob, it's a small health bar, but when you click on it, it makes the health bar big. And if you attack the target, it puts debuffs ahead, as you can see right above the head, and that's part of my UI. At the top you can see a logo up here. That's also another add-on I'll explain in a moment. And yeah guys, that's basically my UI. It's not too complex, it's not too hard, it's pretty decent. And then the bottom left hand corner I've got my text, just talk. So next up we're going to talk about add-ons, and the first add-on we're going to talk about is battleground targets. Battleground targets, basically you just install it, enable it, add your role, specialization, class icons and the realm, and then basically you just, all that shows is whether they're healer, tank or DPS, what spec they currently are and what class they are, and it also shows the health bar and their server. You can click here to move it around if you really want to. The yellow icon on the right hand side means basically which one you're targeting currently, and the grey piece is how much health they've had taken off them, and the coloured piece is how much health they have left. And basically that means if you say like you're targeting this shaman but he's getting healed too much, and you see this druid on no health, you just quickly switch to the druid and you're good to go. We'll probably kill him quite easy. And obviously the flag shows who has the flag. Okay, so the next add-on we're going to talk about is debuff filter. As you've seen in my previous video, I'll put the thing up again. Debuff filter shows 4 targets on the screen. 4 lines, my buffs, debuffs, targets buffs and targets debuffs. And basically the way this works is if you click on the add-on and you unlock your frames, but I'm going to unlock them now just for sake, you can actually remove them around. Like if I unlock them and I click on this and I basically shift left click, I can move it around, but let's put it back to where I had it. And then just lock the frame, and basically you just go over here to your add-ons and you click your target, basically with in your frame layout, click target, and basically all that does is it allows you to select how many buffs you want on the row and what size you want the actual thing to be, whether you want it to be big or small, and that's it really. And the same goes for debuffs. That's your target will be basically the one you're targeting, and then you just click player, which will set your own ones for yourself, and you're good to go. That's that for that add-on. Okay, so the next add-on will be mixed scrolling battle text, which if you've seen on the previous UI, there was a text at the top. That was what I pointed to up there, which would be if you click scroll areas and configure areas, that would be this up here. Now if you look down the side where my damage was, that's where the outgoing is. Outgoing is damage, notification is the text. And the way you configure that is you would basically configure it all in here like I have done. And all you have to do after you configured it is basically save it, and then you would go make sure you have incoming and static unselected. Go to your events, depends on what you want here really, but since you don't need to worry about anything except for the outgoing player and the notification. And for notification, I just basically only have the player killing blows and NPC killing blows selected. For outgoing player, I have all my crits and all my damage, everything selected. For the scroll areas, basically you set all that, triggers, backlash, all that kind of stuff. You can actually remove all that if you really want to. So you don't really want to know if you're using anything like Taste or Blood or anything like that. You can get rid of that if you really want to, and that's up to you. And basically, if you want to change the size of the text or anything, you could change the master font there, or you could go into the actual buttons at the side here, and you can click the size, whatever you want text you want. Then you could edit the name of the text. You can also do a thing for the actual notification as well. If you go on the bottom, you can actually change the text here. You can also change whether it's normal, big or small, and then that's it for that add-on basically. The next add-on I use is called OmniCC, and the OmniCC does, like I said before, is if you use a move, like let's say use Bladestorm, it's got 1 minute cooldown. Use Battle Show, it's now got 59 seconds, 58, 57, and that's what OmniCC does. We have Recount next, and Recount is basically Recount, it just shows you your damage, and that's it for that add-on really. The next add-on we have is Gladius. We click on this, we go Gladius show test. It will bring up the interface. This basically is only available in arenas, but test you can actually see it, and it just basically shows how long you have on the DR for your disarms, your sheeps, your cyclones, anything you may have used on the target. It also shows any ones that they use on you. It shows when they use a trinket on you. It shows when they've dispelled. It shows any CDs they may have used themselves on the portrait here. It shows when they cast a spell. It's pretty standard for using in arenas. So next add-on is Gladiator Losa, and you don't actually have to do anything with that add-on. All you have to do is put it into your folder and it will do the work itself. And what it basically does is it tells you when someone's used a trinket, or if they use disperse, or if they pop CDs or anything. It's quite handy. It's really good for arena as well. And the last add-on I use is called Tally Plates, and I'm not going to go too much into explaining how to set it up, but if you look at my screen you will see what I've currently selected. Just select the exact same. I'll quickly scroll through here. I'll mention anything that's important. And basically you want to have it all set like this. I'll slowly scroll through so you can see what I've selected. And if you have it set exactly like this, it should work perfectly like the way I set it. The main one you want to have set is this one here. You want to have it set to on target. You want to have the scale, normal scale set to 57, and the spotlight scale set to 138. And that's what I explained earlier on about when the bar above your health bar above their heads goes big and small. The smallest is 57 and the spotlight is 138. And the occupancy, which you had up here, would have changed it to be less see-through when you're not targeting the actual target. It helps to less clutter up your screen and stuff like that. And all that does is it shows the health bars like we saw before. Click on this, see the health bar, and if you unclick it, go small again. So that's basically it for all my add-ons. And lastly we have my macros. The macros I'll explain really quickly, as quick as I can. This one is basically just using your trinket, Berserker Rage, and any potions and Shockwave that you may have. It used to have Deadly Can, but not anymore. Then you've got my Bladestorm macro, which is this one here, and I'll show you a quick example of it. And as you can see, quite a lot of damage from that macro. I quite like it quite a lot. It's pretty decent. So for the next macro we have the defensive stance and the battle stance macros. And basically with this one is the just execute battle stance and my sword. equipped, and the same with this one, execute, battle stance, draw equipped. And the same with this one, except for it uses victory rush, defensive stance, and my sword equipped. You can have any extra assist macros you want in there as well. The bannermize macro basically just allows you to put banner down after banner down, and you can just safeguard to it like that. And the same goes for any other macros. This one is my die by the sword plus all your one shot macro, and I have it for avatar because I don't have that much screen. The next one is my one shot macro, which is basically the same thing minus die by the sword, and it basically pops my trinket, recklessness, it cancels shield wall if you have shield wall up, it uses your skull banner, avatar, Berserker Rage, and if you're spec for it, it uses Stormbolt. And the reason you would use Stormbolt is if you wanted to leap onto a target that's at distance. I have my focus 1, 2 and 3 macros for arena, which you can quite easily just set your focus between your targets in trees. Focus Fear, which is basically you would set your focus on this target here, which you would basically charge in and press down and it fears it, without actually having to actually target if you really want to. And basically you have the Intimidating Shout macro, which is basically it stops attack and it fears them when you're using Intimidating Shout, because if you hit them after fear, it's obviously going to be a bad thing. We have my oh shit, where I pop every CD I have macro. If you spec for a rage regeneration, it basically heals you, which most people won't. Everyone specs for a second wind. If you have alchemy, you can use lifeblood. You basically use rallying cry, any life spirits, potions you have, health stones you have, or any trinkets or anything that would increase your health, and it's quite a good way to work with that. Next up we have my safeguard macro, and basically this is the macro you would use to safeguard to any target. And as you can see, I'm using the same macro where it's putting down the other banner, and you basically just safeguard to the target, and it does keep your turn target. As you can see, I didn't lose my target over here to my trying dummy, which is quite good like that. Then you have my other spell reflect safeguard, which would safeguard and would put up spell reflect like so. Obviously it didn't safeguard because it's on cooldown, but yeah, it's pretty good like that. Next up we have my battle shout and charge macro, and it basically just uses battle shout as you charge, and it gives you quite a lot of rage. It's pretty nice like that, and it stops you having to remember to rebuff and use the rage every time it comes up off cooldown. You have the focus charge macro, set the focus here. Let's leap over to this guy and then charge my focus, so it'll leap over there, and you would like focus over here, and you would still have the target over here, but you can then charge back if you were spec for double time. Next up we have my focus pummel macro. If you set this guy to the focus, or target this guy and click it, it's still interrupted. As you can see, it went on CD and it will interrupt this target here while keeping my current target. Next macro is my Heroic Strike PvP macro, and basically all that does is if I use Heroic Strike, it should use Colossus Smash at the exact same time, allowing me to do 2 attacks in one and then Mortal Strike straight away, which would be like 1 second cooldown for 3 attacks. It's quite handy and I quite like it that way, especially combining it with the Glyph of Hindering Strikes, as you can see I have here. Mortal Strike basically is just Mortal Strike, use my weapon more, and the same with here. It's for when I have a shield wall up and I say I want to attack a target and I basically I haven't got time to charge, like it just switches my weapon quickly for me. I have my other pummel, which is basically the same as the focus pummel. They both cancelaura, Bladestorm and hand of protection, because let's face it, if you're going to try to interrupt, you can't interrupt with hand of protection up and you can't interrupt with Bladestorm. You can of course spec for disrupting shout and interrupt during Bladestorm, but it's just a better idea to have it this way. Next up we have my shield wall macro, and basically it just cancels our Recklessness, cancels our Bladestorm, and it uses my one hand and off hand, cast shield wall, and then uses any other trinkets I may have combined. I actually currently have it combined with this trinket here. It's quite nice working with shield wall and you can use it quite well. And the other macros I have is my spell reflect macro, which basically just equips your one hand shield when you click it once and uses spell reflect when you click it twice. The other macro I have is the Focus Stormbolt macro. Let's quickly spec for Stormbolt. Now if you say set this guy as your focus, you want to target this guy, you want to Stormbolt that guy, you just go Stormbolt, charge, and you're done. So yeah guys, that's all of my macros, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I really put everything I could into it. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. This is Evy out. I love you all. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one.